All right, a lot to discuss. Joining me now, senior reporter Caroline Marcus and Radio 2GB host Michael McLaren. Caroline, Michael, thank you for your time. Let's get straight into The Voice. A huge feature of the parliamentary period this week, but of course question time again today. Labor's trying to downplay concerns that The Voice will come with treaties and truth, which of course we know it will. And more detail too out of the documents that I've just taken people through, up there now on the Sky News website. This push for reparations, race-based separatism, land reform, a whole lot more. Michael, to you first. We now know this statement, the Uluru Statement in full, the PM says he will implement in full, is not the one-pager, it's 26 pages long. Now, he's been caught out keeping this detail from voters. The detail in it is radical. It's an absolute manifesto. It's got compensation based on a proportion of GDP, so we're talking billions and billions and billions. This is precisely the detail he did not want voters to know before the referendum. What's your reaction?
Yes, thank you, Peter. Firstly, well done to you for outlining a lot of this, because up until now, a lot of this detail hasn't been forthcoming. It has to be uncovered and it then has to be disseminated. So well done to you for at least playing a role in that respect, and I intend to do the same on the weekend when I'm back on air. But look, this whole situation, we've spoken about this now for months, but largely people have been speaking almost in an information vacuum because so much has been withheld, deliberately so. And the reason the advocates for this, the yes camp, won't disseminate the information that they have or that they suspect will form the body of The Voice is because they know it'll scare the horses when they do. Now, we keep being told that if by people that want to vote yes, that some of the businesses that are invested in this and the rest, look, come on, release some information, get the undecideds over the line, put it all out there, and it hasn't happened. There's a very obvious reason why that hasn't happened, because it doesn't engender sensible thinking people to support it. It frightens them. And I suspect even some Indigenous Australians would look at this and say, hang on, this is way out of order. So the more that the information is put on the table, the better informed the public will be. But equally, I suspect the lower the support for The Voice will go. I suppose we've got a couple of months to prove whether that's right or wrong, but it's obvious why the information hasn't been forthcoming.
Now, just to be clear, this wasn't my FOI. It landed on a website. I don't know who put it, who lodged the FOI, but they certainly haven't done much with it. I saw it there, grabbed it, and away we go. So I think it's in the public interest that this is understood, and good on you for getting into it on the weekend. Caroline, the Yes campaign are still insisting, though, with all this information out there, that treaties are decades and decades away. The statement says, no, hang on, the Parliament, I'll quote the statement again, the Parliament would begin work establishing the Makarrata Commission, this is the Treaties Commission, even before legislating The Voice. We know this is happening. There's $5 million in the budget. They've spent nearly $1 million already. And the Minister keeps dodging questions in the Parliament. This tells me everything.
I think the strategy, Peter, is for people to be so confused that they don't clearly know what they're going to be voting for at the referendum. I can't understand it to be any other way. They want us to vote for the vibe of the thing, and they don't want us to get to understand the detail. I mean, we know that Albanese has worn the T-shirt, he signed the letter asking for treaty, and he has talked about treaty and committing to the Uluru Statement 34 times, as the opposition leader Peter Credlin has pointed out. It's part of the Labor's national platform, policy platform, that they deliver the voice, a treaty and truth-telling within this term of government. So that means it's going to happen within the next 2 years and not decades away. But even if it is the case that The Voice is simply a stepping stone for this treaty to happen within the next few decades, I don't think that's going to fill voters with a lot of confidence and reassurance that some radical changes aren't going to come about through this constitutional change, which we've been told so far is only going to be modest.
Michael, just quickly, reparations based on GDP running into literally billions and billions of dollars. How do you think Australians would react to news like that?
I take that as a rhetorical question, Peter. But I mean, look, the fact of the matter is there is already a percentage of GDP set aside for Indigenous empowerment and improvement. I mean, what is it, roughly $40 billion a year, give or take, I think the figure is, that is directed toward Indigenous Australians for a range of different reasons. So that's a percentage of GDP. What we'd be looking at here is obviously greater than that or more than that. How they define the justification of that, I have no idea. Look, that would go down like a lead balloon. If indeed that is to be part of the narrative, well, then you can kiss this thing goodbye. People simply would not support it. They just won't.